Good morning, good afternoon, whenever you get this.
Uh, I'm Pierre Poilievre's half sister.
And I live in housing still, so that's just where I reside currently. Um, the state of affairs of the place I live is an interesting phenomenon because it's like a project. I can get the lighting correct. Yeah, there we are. It's a project, it's a project. And there's a lot of people in and out, there's a lot of situations going in and out, and a lot of people and stuff that, get stuff done for them by other places. What I've noticed is that since there has been sort of like some talk of money being cut or people's funding being removed or people's specific things they're used to getting being taken away, there's been more in this building or in this area that I live in been more sort of consistent arguments that don't be arguments that say people can kind of just decide to show up and sort of make a little move to make a little a small disturbance that isn't actually like a big disturbance, but it's small enough to make a person feel very, very perturbed, to make a person feel so perturbed and so confused that they don't quite understand exactly what's happening. Then it's a lure to get people out and being involved. There's people who live in this building that I live in who are on the verge of dementia, who are unsafe to be around people because they're so confused and they're so agitated because they're on the verge of dementia and because they don't get the proper care or because their carers can't deal with them. I don't really know the situation, but it comes to me quite a bit that these people, when they're agitated or when they're confused or when their carers are doing things with them that have to do with whatever I'm involved in, uh, or whatever other people may be involved in, I don't know exactly. They're wanting to come and act towards me, like as if it's my responsibility somehow to be emotionally involved with them, to sort of like get me fearing that I don't quite understand exactly what's going on with everyone here. Like as if it's my responsibility to be emotionally engaged with the people in this building who are actually dangerous. They like to do this when they're wanting to access things in the building that they can't get to. The laundry room is a coveted position. I found the laundry room in this building is like the most coveted situation because people want to do their laundry and they want to socialize while they're doing their laundry because they want to be able to be independent and socialize and do their laundry and independent and socialize at the same time. There's been a lot of this where people have been setting me up to attack them in the laundry room. I wash my laundry by hand at this point. I don't even bother. Financially, it's just way better for me anyway. Save a little money. Not be involved with the nonsense. It's like the desire to bring aggression out of people, the desire to motivate people, but in a way that makes other people feel afraid. Like makes me feel afraid to have my window not with the dressing like closed. Like I'm not gonna close the curtains. If I'm bothered, I'm not gonna do that because I'll get depressed, and I don't want to get depressed. I don't really have to go out and about if I don't feel like I don't want to do that. If I don't want to go out and about and do anything, I personally don't really like being in the public too much. I don't really care to sit out and like be seen by everybody. I get like I have really bad anxiety and I don't want to be around. I just want to like be at home and just stay around my own safe little space. For whatever reason that is, I'm just letting people know like it's kind of like something that I see, and I've been living in the housing for quite a while, and I've done other work in addictions and mental health and my own little research for my own self, and it's it's an odd thing that this would be something that people would want to create a situation. It doesn't really matter. That's not bothering me. People want to create a situation where I feel like it's my, like I said, it's my personal responsibility to protect people here that maybe don't feel so safe. That's not my job, you see. That's the police's job. That's the people who protect the people that live here, that are protected, that are technically or legally protected people. Maybe they're, like I said, old and they can't defend themselves, or they never could. Maybe they're on a power of attorney and they could never defend themselves from people. I find that people have the issues. The biggest issues towards me is that these people wanted to use these people, whatever clients they have, they wanted to use them to create a problem with me, where I'd be responsible to do anything to defend them, or I'd be responsible to do anything to avoid reality of my own life, to sort of like become more like dissociated and actually almost like trigger some sort of like by proxy mental health issue, maybe even trigger some sort of by proxy addiction, maybe trigger some sort of by proxy substance use issue where someone can't control their substance use, or some kind of by proxy spending issue where someone can't control their spending, or like I said, by proxy dependency where someone is dependent on carers and dependent on society and dependent on, say, police or law enforcement, or people that they should feel safe with and they don't, in the area that they go be around, that they maybe want to go other places, and for whatever reason they don't feel safe to do that. I don't think it's necessary to try to start an argument with people who don't be involved with whatever that is. I don't think it's necessary to start an argument about that. I'm going to say I abdicate going to those places. For myself, like I said, I don't really care for the green space process. I could move to a bigger city where there wasn't any yard or anything like that, and I probably wouldn't miss it. It'd be nice to see trees, but like I probably wouldn't miss it. I have a little garden in my apartment, so like I wouldn't miss it, probably. Public access to a lake where it's right next to my place, probably wouldn't miss it. I don't go on there. I don't go around there because I don't know what I'm gonna find. Like I don't know what I'm gonna see. I don't know what I'm gonna feel that I have to be responsible for. I actually have found used needles around those places, and as a former addictions mental health student, I felt it was my duty to clean it up, and I don't want to do that. I don't feel responsible for that. Whatever law enforcement's doing, good, because I'm in a police foundations program. I'll be starting pretty soon, so I'm really happy to be joining the help position for myself, because there's been too much nutcase behavior from people who don't have their needs met, who are trying to do the virtue signaling thing where they're using colors and doing weird color crap at me. Like I don't know what that means, and I should be afraid of it, and I don't think I should be afraid of it. I'm willing to participate in my own recovery, and at this point, I don't feel that I have the high needs that these individuals have, and whether or not people are trying to trick me into representing people, I can't be doing that. I'm not a lawyer, okay? I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a law student or anything like that. I can't like represent other people's problems who they don't even be legally like allowed to validate their own problems. I can't be doing that. That's up to law enforcement. That's up to whoever that they're working with. That's up to their carers. That's up to their people. That's up to if they have parents or if they have children that take care of them. It's up to them. That's up to the people who use whatever it is funding wise to make a helping situation for these people. I'm not involved in that. What I am involved in, though, is knowing that like when I'm seeing a person with an issue that is trying to kind of like come at me in whatever funny way they're going to come at me and do some weird crap, do some hand signals or do some funny little gestures or wear some funny little clothing or wear some funny little colors or drive a car that has a specific, what is that? I don't know. It's like it's unnecessarily distracting at this point in my life, because I have school I need to focus on, I have education I need to focus on, I have recovery I need to focus on, I have family that I need to stay healthy to keep them, knowing that it's safe to not go around and do that stuff. I have people in my life that are looking to me for that. So it's hard for me to continue to work towards my own safety when I feel that other people are trying their very, very darndest to make sure that I feel responsible for that outcome, and I'll say I don't be. Whatever people are doing, whatever people are involved in, whatever they're into, property management, whatever they're gonna play, it's okay. Because I feel and I say what I say in my private videos, but when it comes to posting on this account, I'll kind of keep it for what it is. I don't feel like emotionally responsible, legally responsible, financially responsible, specifically financially responsible for these individuals who are supposed to have this already set for themselves, and maybe they don't, or maybe they have this problem where they don't like following the rules. They want the rules to be for other people. They want the rules to be to help them feel safe, but they don't want to obey the rules themselves. They don't want to abide by the rules themselves. They want to start fights with younger people in this building. They want to start fights with younger people in this area, specifically younger people who are in recovery from some sort of addiction or some sort of injury that maybe got them on something that they want to get off of. Yeah, that's just my thoughts on that. That I can't be held responsible for that. Okay, I'm not involved with anybody here. I keep to myself for reasons, and I used to try to sit around the gardens in this yard. That there's a garden in this yard. I used to try to do that outside, but I found that was an unsafe prospect for me because I found these people were coming and approaching me and sort of gaslighting me and doing strange things and talking about me to me without me being able to say no to them and almost trying to rely on me as if I was a worker. I'm not a worker. No, I'm not a worker. There's a reason why I sort of got away from the mental health and addiction work was because I felt it was too much of my own personal life that was getting exposed to these individuals who don't have safety in their personal lives and who don't have a carer or a person that they can rely on like all the time, that are that high needs that they have to have that all the time, and they feel unsafe if they don't, and they sort of come at me, like I said, and sort of try to induce a reaction in me that I have had a lot of trouble with controlling that. So just for myself, I know I'm not aware of what's going on with plans in the city or plans in this housing complex or those who own the housing complex or those who run the housing at this point. I'm not aware of that, but I know that I'm not involved at that level for sure, and I won't be because I'd be involved in my own protection. I'd be involved in my own future, and I'd be involved in my own working on my own skills, and whatever people try to do, whatever people decide to do, that's okay. That's on them. I say to myself for reasons. Anybody who has questions, anybody who has comments, anybody who has anything that they want to say, specifically if they go through this too, like if anybody lives in a housing complex and they have this happen to them. They have people who are older than them and maybe kind of slipping into dementia, sort of coming at them and sort of trying to get them to deal with them, like mess with them, and like it's not safe, but it's something very, very common I've noticed. Comment if you have ever gone through this. Comment if there's something that you experience, because I think it's one of those things that like a lot of people deal with. Probably, yeah, a lot of people deal with that. They're kind of like concerned that if they say anything. Say if you're in your 30s and you're living in housing, say you're single, you're working towards something, whatever, and people kind of do this. Imagine how scary that must be. If you think, oh, this little old lady, she obviously needs my help. She looks like, oh, she could use my help, and I should. Nope. Mind your own. But like I said, leave the comment. I'm gonna leave the comment section open if you want to comment. If this is something you've ever experienced, I'm pretty sure that I'm not the only one who's going through this or has gone through this sort of thing, because it's part of developing a community. It's part of developing a wholesome, healthy recovery, or at least a community where people can sort of feel safe to be doing what they're gonna do. Yeah, I can understand why people would feel that they want to go out further than this little area. I'm not responsible for that though. If people feel that, or specifically if someone who is like their mental health is not good, they're unsafe to be alone for whatever reason that is, they're older, they're unsafe to other people, they sort of go up to people and sort of talk to people and they don't know what to do about it, and it becomes confusing, like who's responsible for this person, I'm not. Whoever is involved in that's where the responsibility goes. And for what I know, that's the police, and I'm gonna leave it with them. Like I said, the comment section is open. Reach out if you want to. Email isn't available in the description box. You want to reach out there. I leave it open, and it doesn't really matter. People want to say stuff that I don't personally like to hear, or you think it might upset me. It's okay. You can say it. I welcome the comment section to contain whatever people want me to even be aware of. Like I said, there could be some things about the situation I'm not fully aware of. I'm not fully party to every one of the things that happens where I live, and I really shouldn't be. I really don't have to be, and I'm gonna make sure that people know I'm not. Okay, thank you. Like I said, comment if you want to. I'll see you next one. Okay.